if I could just provide an overview of this, and this is one of the many different things we do at Movement Generation, and we only do this every so often. Like the permaculture course is something that we haven't done since 2010 because it's just a very heavy lift. But we understand that there's a very strong need for us to really be rooted as activists and organizers in useful skills that work with land and water and help us find a new right relationship with home, because we all belong to this earth, and we've been disconnected, and we're experiencing a crisis of disconnection from each other and also from our actual natural environment. So permaculture for the people, this time around, doing it very differently. So it really began last year in 2014, where we've been building deep relationships with land-based organizations that are led by people of color in the Bay Area. There's 4 groups that we're working with. Urban Till in Richmond, who's been a long-time partner with us. Cordero in San Francisco has been a long-time partner, and a couple new partners, Actinon Verba Youth Farm and Full Harvest Urban Farm. Both of those are in Oakland. And the real big, broad, overarching goal for us with this project is to really spark, or at least plant the seeds and sow the seeds of a land reclamation and reformation movement. We're clear, privatization of land is a fundamental issue. It is a fundamental issue. The whole issues around gentrification are tied to land being a marketable commodity, something that's chained into the market. And we really need to change that. And so for us, it's about reclaiming land and also repurposing land, but intentionally with people of color at the forefront of that, as we are the ones who've been suffering the most from a crisis of disconnection. So the permaculture course, the project started last year with 4 earth skills trainings at these 4 host sites. So what we do is we facilitate, we'll find an instructor for a particular topic. We'll meet with that host organization, determine what their needs are around trying to have an ecologically sustainable project. So for example, last year, Cordero, which is people organized to demand employment rights, or economic rights, they have a garden. And in California, we have a serious drought right now. And so with this training, what we wanted to do was highlight one issue, which was the drought, and also a response that people can make to that, which is to catch water, which is basically we installed rainwater harvesting barrels at this site, so that when it does rain, because we don't get a lot of rain anymore, so that when it does rain, we can capture that gray water and then use it to water gardens, right? Simple, and it's a way for people to connect. Now, we're under no illusion that this is the complete solution, that all we need to do is have rainwater barrels and everything's going to be fine. And this is a very small project, right? But the idea behind it is that if you can get people connected and aware of the issue and also involve them in the solution, or at least a response to that issue, then we begin to start building a new reality based on skill and based on indigenous teaching, because catching water is something that's not new. It's something that ancestors have done for millennia, especially in dry places. So that was one of the types of trainings we did, and we did 4 of those at each different organization. We installed a cob bench, which is basically we got together like 50 people, and you can make a bench without using cement. You can use clay, soil, straw, and water, and you can actually form something that is hard as a brick. And we made a bench at a garden for young people. We also did one with the waterless toilet, again highlighting the issue of drought in California. Also trying to remain balanced in ecological principles around zero waste. That's what composting toilets do. Turns your shit, sorry to be crass, into fertilizer. And then the last one we did was around health and wellness, natural healing, where we basically work with Urban Till and an instructor there to use the herbs that were available in their garden, and we show community how you can take those herbs and turn them into tinctures, into salves, and different types of medicines. So the idea behind the Earth Skills training is really, one, to make a deep investment and to deepen the relationship we have with these 4 organizations, and then also to bring in community to be a part of raising their consciousness around the issue, and then also involved, and also skills building, so that they have a skill that they learn that is a response to that issue. So this year with Permaculture for the People, where we take it now is a little bit deeper. So we host a 2-week course in August where we basically make personal invitations to mostly social justice organizers, and we invite them to a 2-week course. I won't get into the details of the course, but permaculture is like a design concept, and it's really about designing land spaces to be in right relationship with the natural environment. And so what our participants do is they learn these various techniques and concepts, and then we assign them to a design team, and the design in four groups, and they each go back to those same partners I told you about earlier from Earth Skills trainings. So this design team goes there and they create a map, like a landscape map of an area, and then over the period of 6 to 12 months, they build out one element of that map. And then after that, in year 3, we run our Earth Skills training program right back through those 4 organizations. And then that same cadre of designers go back, along with, like, we open it up to the general public, and then they go back and they complete another set of workshops at those sites. So the whole thing is about making a very strategic and a very deep investment in relationships and land and skill. And so we understand that if we're going to reclaim land and if we're going to reform land, we have to know how to work with land. And a lot of us in social justice organizing spaces don't have that opportunity because we're not coming from land-based people. We've been displaced from our land. We've not been allowed access to land. So that's kind of one way that at Movement Generation we're trying to put these theories into practice.